It's so dark. It was amazing! Oh wait! There's more! It was awful! I'm back! CGI shit!
I rest my case.
It was fucking horrible!
Yeah! It's all in the wrists. That's right. It's all in the
Yes, Hipster Whovian Jedi. Yes, it is. It's all in the wrist. Hey guys, what's up? It's BigJackFilms here, and welcome to another opening night. This is a request episode from one of our Patreons and a good friend of ours, Hipster Whovian Jedi, who has decided for me to review, essentially, the first two Tron movies, given there's a new Tron movie coming out soon. So I figured, alright, finally could dust up my time and finally watch these movies and see what I make of them. Because believe it or not, folks, I have never seen Tron. I haven't seen any of this franchise at all. Never saw the first one, never saw Legacy. And, yeah, this is my first time experiencing it. So what's my history behind Tron? The first time I ever heard of Tron was in the Making of Toy Story documentary, actually 30 years ago, when John Lasseter, the weirdo he is, had brought this up. Take a listen.
I was working at Disney as an animator on Mickey's Christmas Carol, and two very close friends of mine were working on Tron. You know, you remember Tron, right? The moment I saw it, it was like a little door in my head opened up, and it was like, this is the future. This is amazing. And it wasn't for what I was seeing. It was the potential I saw in computer animation.
That was the first time I ever heard of Tron. It was the first thing I ever saw of Tron, and I saw at the time, again, this is when Toy Story came out, that computer animation was starting to really come into play, and that was like a decade or so more before Toy Story. So it's interesting to kind of see this sort of being one of the first major computer animated films. Now, computer animation had existed before, way long ago, and actually was prominent in the original Star Wars trilogy as well for the computer graphics, but this was the first time the technology was used to create like a full-on feature to this point in time. This was 1982. And it's so, watching this, the reason I've never been able to watch Tron, a couple of reasons. One, it was extremely hard to find on the market. It was very hard to find a good copy on home video release. And on top of that, looking at Tron from an outsider, like, I knew about parodies from South Park and a couple other areas that spoof Tron. I knew about Tron Guy on YouTube. You guys remember him? And I knew about it. I just never gave it a chance. Never at this point in time did I ever give Tron a real fair shake. That is until Hipster Whovian Jedi came at me at G-Fest and said, you need to watch Tron with the new movie. So he gifted me with these 2 copies of the Tron movies before the new movie, and I watched the first one today. And what's the plot of Tron? Tron is basically, takes place in 1982. Ironically, I'm recording this, and I just watched the movie. It's September 22nd. This movie takes place on September 22nd. And what's really interesting is that this movie is about a computer program or gaming program called Tron, run by a big tech, or Steve Jobs tech company, with its head played by David Warner. Yeah, I was surprised, like, oh shit, David Warner's in this. David Warner, you guys know, is the bad guy in Titanic. He was in Ninja Turtles 2. He's been in a lot of movies. And he is the head of this organization for this, like, computer program. Meanwhile, we have Jeff Bridges. Our lovable Jeff Bridges is in this, which is awesome. Playing Flynn, who is a hacker and also a huge arcade player. He has his own little arcade, and he has this infamous line that Hipster Whovian Jedi likes to do whenever we play Tron at Galaxy Ghost. It's all in the wrist. I can't do the movement, but it's really funny. And basically he's a hacker trying to get into Tron. He's got 2 other friends with him, And what happens? He ends up getting sucked into the game and having to survive and finding a way out. That's sort of the basis of Tron. Now, looking at it from an outsider looking in, finally breaking my silence and watching Tron for the first time, I like it. I like how unique it is. I love how, for the technology at the time, it was pretty groundbreaking. At first, I thought I wasn't going to like it. I felt, okay, the technology's probably going to suck. I've seen images where, like, oh, the green screen's bad. It looks like something out of Bashki's Lord of the Rings, and the CGI is only used for spaceships and stuff. But, like, then I find out the suits, the way they were done, was not through just green screen chroma key like a Ralph Bashki film with the oversaturations and contrast, but also they were painstakingly hand-drawn. I did not know that. That completely shocked me to know that that was the technology at the time, which is, like, makes it more interesting. And I like the world of Tron. I like the way it's set up. I like the uniqueness and the look of it. Is it something I would want to go into? Probably not, but it is a cool-looking world, despite the limitations of the CGI. On top of that, our characters are great. Jeff Bridges is the reluctant hero that we all love him for in every movie. This is like him, like 70s and 80s Jeff Bridges, I will actually declare as the Taylor Lautner of his time. This man cannot put a damn shirt on to save his life. Every movie he's in, King Kong, this, I don't know about Cocoon, I've never seen that. He is always, or is he in Cocoon? I can't remember. He is always not wearing a shirt. And I'm like, this man is the Taylor Lautner of our time. Sorry, my phone keeps falling. He is the Taylor Lautner of our time. And it's really funny to me how he always likes to do that. There are moments where his Lebowski comes out, which is also really funny. And it's like, come on! There's one part where he's like, you know, come on, man! Like talking about the hacker code, or breaking it or something. I will say the exposition's a lot to round your head around, so there were times I did get a little lost in this movie. On top of that, David Warner is, of course, a great villain, playing both he's kind of like a character you would see in both RoboCop, but also THX 1138. That's the vibe this movie gave me. Very RoboCop and very THX. And he plays that type of business villain, but also he plays the computer program that wants to, like, hack into things. Even though, like, it's a computer, a gaming computer or whatever, it's still trying to be AI. And there's a lot of symbolisms of AI. And something Hipster Hoovie and Jedi brought this up with me about watching the movie, is that it also has a very Planet of the Apes vibe, where it deals with science fiction that involves religion and cults and stuff, and how it operates in its own little world and everything. It's kind of interesting, calling, like, gods users, which I'm sure Deadwing Dork would be very happy about that, but he's got plenty to work with that movie. But yeah, with Tron, it's an interesting world. I do like the games. I like the Frisbee disc thing. I love the car chase. A lot of almost prototypes to something George Lucas would later do in the prequels with the pod racing. And I guarantee George probably saw this and he says, oh, this is the future. This is where CG effects are going to go. So I feel like he saw the potential. He just waited a couple years, much like Cameron did with Avatar. So again, that's probably the greatest strength with this movie, is the technology. Music's a little less to be desired. I do think there is a little bit of it that falls flat, mostly in imagery and some characters. I mean, I would say halfway through I was getting a little bit impatient. I was like, can we pick up the pace here, Disney? But outside of that, I really got nothing else to say about Tron. I mean, it's just it's a cool little sci-fi movie from the 80s. This is, ironically, for Jeff Bridges, this was a payday year for him, with 2 major movies under his belt. Both kids' movies. He did Tron, and he did The Last Unicorn the exact same year. So he made some money at that point, so good for him on that end. Now, am I expecting much for Tron Legacy? I don't know. Maybe I gotta get used to the fact the effects are gonna be an upgrade, because, like, I kind of like this tone of this particular film, how this version of Tron looks better than most of the stuff we're seeing now. I think the technology at the time had its advantage, but we'll see what happens when we get to the sequel. All in all, a short review. I don't really have much to say about Tron, except that it's a fun little movie. If you're interested in that 80s sci-fi, Spielbergian, weird Disney films from that period, this is definitely a movie for you. I'm going to give this a solid 8 out of 10. It's got great visuals, it's got an interesting story to tell, it's got an interesting world to build. Jeff Bridges and David Warner are worth it for the price alone, and it is one of those Disney franchises that fans want to see more of this, but Disney, it feels like they just don't have the energy for it. I don't know if this movie did well in theaters. I think it probably did. It's not like the black hole for them, but this is an interesting piece, honestly, Tron. So 8 out of 10. But if you guys have seen Tron, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Don't forget, once again, to support our Patreon, just $1 more will get you early access to all of our content, as well as other special features. We just hit the $50 tier, which I really appreciate every one of our Patrons for contributing. It really does go a long way in funding projects down the line. But, yeah, tune in next time. I'm going to take a look at Tron Legacy, and then hopefully by the time that comes out, I think Tron Ares should be out by that point, so I'll probably go see that and take a look. But until next time, like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys later. This is BigJackFilms signing off, and, yeah, on to Tron Legacy. Let's see if the sequel does well. Take it easy.